Hello, boys and girls. Well, I wanted to talk about how this ended up happening. How did I end up falling? The thing is, if you ride a motorcycle, even if you ride a bicycle at some point in your lifetime, you're going to fall. The only way to avoid falling is if you don't ride. It's inevitable. Now, the issue with falling off the motorcycle is it always costs money. It might be $20, it might be $40, it might be 100, it might be $400 for fairings. It always costs something. So on the day that I fell, was it was totally my fault. But if you actually ask me what ended up happening, how did I end up on the ground, I can't tell you that. I don't know. All I know is that I fell. So I'm leaving the driveway. It's about 5 p.m. I'm leaving the driveway. The sun is about to go down. It's getting a little dark. I had warmed up the bike. The engine was pretty warm. But I hadn't ridden this bike in about, I would say, about 2 weeks. So maybe it was a case of not enough air in the tire, or maybe cold tires. I do not know. So I'm leaving the driveway. I give it a little bit of gas, a little more gas than I usually give it. And the next moment I know is I am down on the ground. The bike is slid away and I'm sliding the other direction. This happened in about maybe like 5 seconds. I get up and I walk towards the bike. I lift it up. I try to start it. The first time it doesn't start because it shut off when it fell down. I start it and it doesn't start. I try a second time and then it starts. And I live in a cul-de-sac. It's like a crescent, so there's no way out. There's like houses around the circle. There's houses on the left, right, and so my greatest fear was that people were going to start coming to see if I was okay. So as soon as I got up and I felt myself, I felt that I was okay. Nothing was broken. I immediately rushed to the bike, tried to start it. I tried about 3 times and then finally it started and I got right on it. As soon as I got on the bike, I realized, oh crap, the shifter broke during the fall. But there was a little bit of shifter left. It didn't like all snap off. It was just like the part that protrudes, the little nipple that protrudes from the shifter. That is what broke. So I was wearing boots. I was able to actually still shift. So I somehow managed to ride it. I just wanted to get out of that place. I just wanted to get out of as far from home as possible because I didn't want people to come and ask me if I was okay, because I felt okay. It was gonna be an embarrassment to have to answer all the questions. I felt fine. I said, you know what, I'll check when I get to my destination. If I'm okay, I'll check if the bike is okay. So the first thing I noticed is that the little nipple that protrudes from the shifter was broken, but I was still able to ride it. So I rode it away. I went to the closest gas station and I stopped at the gas station and I did a further inspection of the bike. Upon further inspection, I saw that the brake fluid was leaking, and I saw that there's like little things that protect my fairings that protrude from either side of the bike. These little white things, those were, one of them was shaved. The bike fell on the left side, and so one of them had been scraped from the fall, but it wasn't totally broken. So those were the 3 main issues. The crash bars, if you want to call them that, the crash bars were a little damaged, and the brake fluid was leaking, and also the nipple that protrudes from the shifter was also broken. And the last thing is I felt some wetness on my pants, on my knee, on my left side. So I realized at that point that I was slightly bleeding. So I went ahead and I pulled up my pants and I inspected the leg, and I saw that I had two bruises. It wasn't like excruciating pain. It was just a little bit annoying, but I was not like terribly bruised. So I decided at that point to just check my tire pressure. I suspected that maybe I didn't have enough uh, air in the tires, which is what caused the fall. And upon inspection, I found out that my air was a little low. So I went ahead and then I filled up the air, and I was like, you know what, I'm not going to let this fall mess up the rest of my day. So I got some air, got some gas, and I went ahead. I went for about a 2-hour ride just to fill the bike and feel if anything else was wrong. So then I just came back home when pretty late. I came home when I was sure that my neighbors were indoors and sleeping. So no one talked about the fall. None of my neighbors came to ask me for about a week. And then one day I'm leaving the house, I'm going for a ride again, and one of my neighbors approaches me, and then he goes, were you okay? And then at that point I realized he was talking about the fall. I wasn't sure if anybody saw me falling, because I got up so quick and just rode away so fast. But I guess he must have been outside, or maybe he saw it from the window that I had fallen. So he was like, oh, are you okay? I was like, no, I was fine. I was like, I came to see, but to see if you were okay, but I realized that you had already ridden away. I was like, yeah, there was no major damage. So the next day after the fall, I found the part of the shifter that had broken. It was actually on the ground, but I was not able to put it back onto the shifter. So I actually ended up drilling a hole into the shifter lever, and just inserting a nut and a bolt, and that is what you see on the current setting. I didn't end up buying a whole shifter. I just drilled a hole. So if this ever happens to you and you break part of the shifter, just drill a hole. You don't have to buy the whole thing. Just drill a hole into the shifter lever, put a nut in the screw, and that should work just fine, as good as new. So that's my story about falling. I can't exactly tell you what caused it. I just, it happened so fast. And this is actually the second time I fell, about 3 years ago, and that one was not my fault. This time it was my fault. That one, someone just we're at the stoplight, and when we were taking off, someone was on the left side of me, and I'm on the right lane, and he had his blinker on to show he was turning left, and when the light turned green, he decided to just switch lanes and went into the right lane right in front of me, right when I was mashing on the throttle to take off, and I ended up rear-ending him. It so happened that this guy that I rear-ended, he was also a rider, and he was like, oh, there's no need to call the police, just tell me what the estimate for fixing the bike. At the time that I fell, I was kind of pissed. My mirror was broken, and the crash bars were also broken, and so we exchanged numbers, and then the next day I told him the amount for the parts, and he sent me the money via Cash App, and then I just went ahead and fixed the bike. So the thing is, if you ride, you will at some point fall. It's inevitable. The only people that do not fall are people that do not ride. Sometimes it's going to be your fault, sometimes it will not be your fault, but it's a machine. It's a fast machine on two wheels. Quick reflexes help, but falling is inevitable. At some point in your lifetime of riding, you're going to lay the bike down. So it's something to just live with knowing. If you have not fallen, it's not like, are you going to fall? The question is, when is it going to happen? At some point it will happen. Well, that's my story of how I ended up falling off the bike. Well, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing to the channel. Please like, share. Thank you.